Welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate, episode 64. Yes. Let's talk about cards that we want to see possibly go up, possibly not go up, come down. Let's kind of start there, and I have B-Wings up, but we don't really have to talk about B-Wings. That's not the intent. Is I just wanted to test it. I forgot to clear my cache.
I want to just go through first order real quick.
Yeah, we can go through first order next. Yep. That one's probably
sorry,
easy.
You're leading. This is your show, so you do whatever you want, man.
Yeah, let's go. I like going down the. I like going down the list. Okay. Let's do first order next because Von Reg is the first one that I talked through.
I'm looking at. Yeah, go for it.
And I have an issue with what they did with Von Reg. You know, like to me, Von Reg should go down a point. Just take a little bit of loadout away and make Von Reg go down a point. I think Von Reg should be played, and I think Von Reg's an amazing ship. It's just like the Soontir Fell effect, you know?
Yeah, especially this version of the game, man. It's hard for him to arc dodge. And he's always having to make that choice of taking the strain. If he's getting shot even once, that strain is really scary. Yep. Yeah. No, he should absolutely not be 6 points. He should not be 1 point more than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No. And with that being said, then that talks about Hollow. And I say bring Hollow down to 4 points as well. Give me Hollow at 4 points. And give me Ember at 4 points, and give me more loadout on Ember.
Oh, that's the Hollow's ability to throw people's locks away is so good, though. I'm not sure. Maybe Hollow could stay and have more loadout points. I don't know.
Okay, all right, I would be okay with that too.
Yeah,
but I'll be honest, it's hard for me to take Hollow over Von Reg.
Yeah,
unless Hollow has that much more loadout points than Von Reg. Like, I guess if you put Hollow maybe at 22 loadout points and Von Reg down to like 15, I would consider then Hollow at I5.
One of the polls that I ran for GSP, this was I think this is right before 2.5, so obviously things are different, but it was, who's a better BA pilot, Hollow or Von Reg, and it was like very close. It was almost split. People said Hollow, though. More people said Hollow, which is interesting. It's all about play style. I don't like to play ships in a formation or in a bunch at up to range 2. You got to keep people close to Hollow. Von Reg's much more of a lone wolf, AC kind of doing his own thing. That's my play style. So,
same here.
Yeah.
And I think Ember should get more loadout points immediately. Like, just give me Ember with more loadout points.
Yeah, and everyone, people always compliment Ember and be like, Ember's really good. I'm like, okay, I've never really seen Ember do a lot of work. I haven't seen a lot of games with Ember in their list. So, so be cool. Probably does deserve a few more points, though, for sure.
Yeah, they nerfed it because it was like running it with that weird combination of, Gideon, Malorus type thing, and then everybody's like, oh my god, it's just too much, blah, 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 and, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's do maybe the SF next.
Yeah.
Because I think Quick Draw could go down to 5. Which would be very aggressive, but Quick Draw is also just, like, not really even considered, surprisingly to me, like, at all. So she's got way too many loadout points. I mean, 22 would have to drop off heavily. She doesn't need 22 points in my
25.
eyes.
25.
She has 25.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
But you die right away, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Right, yeah. She's very much just like Soontir, a 2.0 ship. Like, it just feels really good to play in 2.0 because, the average ships in a list was like closer to 3.5 or 4. Now it's like 5+, 5.5. And yeah, I mean, the 6-point ship in a chassis like that getting focus fired, it's just so easy for her to get. She can't go anywhere. She kind of just gets locked in, just kind of moving straight or banking 1 or 2 banks. And yeah, she should go down for sure.
And I think the same thing for Hughes. I think Hughes is overpriced.
Oh yeah, wow, he's 5. Yikes.
Yeah, I get that he's an I5, but to me, like, I would bring him down to like the Phasma and maybe neuter a little bit of the loadout, because Phasma's 4, an I4 and 14 points, and Backdraft's 4 and a 12. If you give me Lieutenant Hughes with, let's just say, 10 or 12 loadout points, I still probably take Hughes in that 4-point slot. I think I do. I think I really think I do, So, and these things get burned down like crazy, right? Like, these things are just, I don't know.
Yeah, they just don't stand up to the firepower that is coming their way. And they're not good for. I mean, they're good for like claiming objectives, but if it's like a assault or a scramble, but for salvage, they're kind of DOA as well.
Yep.
So,
I think Revis should go back down to 2. We'll just say that right there. Put Revis at 2. There's zero reason for that FO to be like, I don't care. Take the loadout points away again and give me a 2-point Revis, I guess.
Surprisingly, Midnight's pretty cheap, right? 4 points. It's not bad. I don't think she should be cheaper than that.
No. I like Midnight. I think Malorus should go up a point. And
oh yeah, no, Malorus is too good at 3.
And I think if you put Malorus at 4 and give the more loadout points, I think you're okay. I think you fix some of that issue of raising a point, so that if you do want to invest it, maybe enough to take a shield upgrade and some missiles, like get 12 points. There you go. Let's do 12 points. You could take a shield upgrade, and then you could take clusters still, and I would be okay with that at 4 points. I'm okay with that.
It makes Static 2. Static's ability is so bad. While you perform a primary attack, you may spend your lock on the defender and a focus token to change all of your results to crit results. Two points. 2 point. I mean, is that ability already only has how many loadout does Static have? 8. Just drop that to slash that in half at least. And I mean, that ability, like, that's like, I should got to make a bingo space for somebody playing a game with Static and be like, can you get this? Can you do this? Because even if you do it, it's bad. Like, you probably get yourself killed. Spending your lock and focus.
Nabi, you're not getting 6 RZ2s. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We already agreed they could go down to 3. But you're not going to get, like, I don't know. I guess you could get 6, whatever. We're past
a deficit. Switch to it with a deficit. Yeah. But yeah, that's my spicy idea.
No, but I agree. I guess Static, I could see that. So put Static at 2 with very little loadout points.
Yeah. I mean, that ability is just not good. It's I mean, sure, crits are fun, but like, is it not enough to spend your lock? But you also just spend your focus, and you're just hoping you rolled well enough that
so you have to roll really well, and then you have to
spend them
both. Yeah.
You've got to be at range 1 for it to actually be good. Yeah, no.
So I think that leaves silencers next, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I have any like real opinions on the silencers. Blackout could be 5 with less loadout points.
How about this? Give me Blackout at 5, and give me so let's see here. Rush. Hold on, let's look these up because I don't know what each one of them do. I want one of them at 4 points with no loadout. Not Rush. It will not be Rush. All right. How about Recoil? Recoil does nothing, right?
Recoil's ability is okay. It's like you can treat your bullseye as front arc requirement for.
All right. But if he had no loadout, then it wouldn't matter, right? All right. What's Avenger do? Hold on. Let's see.
I mean, Predator is like the main reason why people like Recoil. Avenger is reliance on people dying.
All right. Give me Avenger. It's a 3. It's an I3. Yep. Give me Avenger at 4, and you could keep the 6 points of loadout. I like that.
Yeah.
I think give me one of them at 4 points to mix it up a little bit. I think it's okay.
Yep. I don't disagree with that. Was there anything else with the silencers?
Not really. I mean, because I don't want to move Kylo down farther.
No.
It's bombers next, and we know what needs to happen with those.
I'm finally ready for those things to get a proper adjustment, because in 2.0 they were way too cheap and they're still way too oppressive. So I also, just as a global thing, I really hope that they take a long, hard look at chaff and either make it really hard for these things to be as efficient and just guaranteed as they are now with bombers, or they just nuke the cost of chaff. Be like, we've recognized that this thing is almost impossible in a lot of cases to avoid, and it's just really swings games very heavily. The bombers, like somebody did a chart of what you could do with skilled bombardier and one of the bombers with the chaffs, and it was like, you couldn't avoid it.
So okay. So let me I'm gonna I'm going to back up a little bit because I don't think those are as aggressively hard as people think. I will say Skilled Bombardier should immediately stop. That's done. Move on. And I think you should not be able to boost and shoot a Shaft Cloud. Just period. Right? Like, let's just say you can shoot it or boost. Those are it. There's no other options. Like, you cannot shoot it and then boost. You can shoot it or boost, and you cannot boost first and then shoot it. Like I think you stop them with the Shaft Clouds if you do that. That's the first thing, because I don't think Shaft Clouds are that oppressive, and I don't want Shaft Clouds to go away. I don't care. Like,
what are they? What's their price right now? 6?
They're 4 points.
Oh yeah, too cheap. Maybe make them 5 or 6, but 4 points, man.
All right, 5 points. I'll go with 5. I'll concede at 5. But I will not concede at 6 because I can take a proxy for 6.
How much should Notorious be, by the way? I just
you want to head that kind of 6?
Yeah,
just give me 6 points for Notorious and move on. I like Notorious, but I don't want to see it on everything. So it's a 6 point. Like, do I want to take Trick Shot or Notorious? I'm going to take Notorious over Trick Shot every single time. Like, and if that's the case, and I'm not going to raise Trick Shot up from 4 points.
It's just a poorly designed card, too. The fact that it's 2 recurring and you only have to use 1 charge. Like, why is it not 2 charges to use it? Like, and then you get the rerolls, too. It's like, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is where, when they went away from initiative-based costs, drives me nuts, right? Because on an I3, when I ran it on Emon, it doesn't do a lot, right? Like, you take the strain, and then I get to reroll with Emon. But with Boba, like, I'm just passing on that strain, so all my other ships can take advantage of it, which is more important than my reroll.
If I'm first player, I shoot Boba. Like, this happened at Gen Con. My first game, such a bad game. I had Boba in 2-hole wedge, range 1, shot at him, terrible roll, and then he's like, "Cool, thanks. I got you range 1 at the back with Marauder, all the rerolls and Force, and I'm gonna strain you with Notorious now as well." And I'm like, this is awful. Like, I didn't even deal any damage to him on that shot, and I got wrecked.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I think Notorious should say, personally, I think Notorious should immediately say, upon damage dealt, then you can pass the strain off. Just kind of like if you think about other upgrades we have, right? Like, oh, okay, Maul, you don't get to regen Force unless Maul, you suffer damage, right? Mm-hmm. Hate is the same way. You don't regen Force unless you suffer damage.
Sure.
To me, Notorious says the same thing. Like it's a deterrent that's kind of an NPE, in my opinion. Like, I feel it is. But I think if we look at the bombers, I think so here's where I would caution moving all the costs around. I think if you nerf the Chafe Cloud with them only, and let's move it to 5 points. I'm okay with that. Like, let's move it to 5 points. Let's nerf it on the bombers, so they can't use either of their abilities on the Chafe Cloud. I don't actually have as big of a problem with the bombers.
Yeah, I think was it Grudge is the one that's getting played all the time right now, right?
Yeah, everybody wants to run Grudge because it's the rerolls.
Yeah. Okay, Grudge. But is it just it's just Grudge's ability? So I don't know if just dropping the loadout points for Grudge actually fixes that quote unquote problem. I don't think that's tough because Breach is 5, and I don't think Breach is getting any play.
A little bit, not much though.
Yeah, no, I mean Grudge is. That's tough. I don't know, because if they make him 5, then they're going to give him the chance of taking, everything. And I don't know if I like that either.
Yeah, I think here we take the subtle approach, right? So, like, when we talk about the issue with Crispy's list is the biggest issue in FO. We'll just say that right now, right? And Crispy's list is what's pushing everything else out of FO. Is that list that they created, and I don't know if he created it or not, but whatever. I'm guessing he created that list. That list is the list that's pushing things out. And if you get rid of Shafe Cloud abilities, you nerf that list immediately. And if you move Malorus to the 4 points, like we talked about, you nerf that list, right? And you start to move that list around a little bit, to the point where you can't take the same amount of things. I'm not opposed to Grudge going up 1 point, personally, but I think that if we take baby steps, then we would see if it really is that much effective. Because if you get rid of the Shafe Cloud and the Shafe Cloud and the Skill Bombardier piece, I think you you fix a little bit of this of the FO things. And look, you drop Von Reg to 5 points. Am I going to take a 5-point Von Reg or a 4-point Bomber? I'm probably personally going to take a Von Reg. Like,
Yeah,
just
depends
me.
on the kind of spam approach you want to. There's a lot of spam in FO. I mean, that kind of ties into the next point of with like Wilo. Um, I've only had terrible experiences going up against Wilo, especially when road doesn't go your way. It's just so frustrating. It's like awful. However, I don't think he should be the same price as Silencer Kylo, but the community is treating Wilo as the better option right now because of that 6-point cost. So to me, I think just lowering his loadout points is going to help. Because I don't think he should be the same price as Silencer Kylo. Because I think on paper, or just in terms of results and the kind of nuances of both ships, Silencer Kylo is just better. But that jamming, like the ability to jamming got so easy to do now, especially when people are flying larger bases and you can line up in a bullseye to jam. And they have such a great dial. It's pretty hard to avoid getting jammed by the whispers. So I just think that they should take a look at Kylo's loadout. And then I don't know, is Wrath too expensive at 5, or could Wrath be 4? I'm not really sure. I'm not too
No, you got to
with
be
the other
careful.
ones.
Otherwise, we're going to get a bunch of silencer spam.
Yeah, I mean, people are already trying to do that. It's just kind of
It's
boring.
fun.
And is it fun?
It's fun. Yeah, it is.
Is it? Yeah,
it is. It's fun. It's a dick move, is what I call it. Right.
yeah.
I don't think it's good enough that it's
Just being a
impactful.
dick, yeah. I think jamming can be a really big NPE experience. Like being able to jam off a reinforce on a decimator or a ghost is really shitty. Like that sucks that you can do that.
Yeah,
because it's like they need those so desperately. You're just like, screw you.
Yeah, I think if you look at, you could take you could take what's his name in the problem is they move too fast, but you could take 4 silencers, and then you could take the Z-class shuttle. You could take any of those. You're giving up a point, but you could take, I don't know. So let's just say you take Gideon
5-ship list,
and then you could take and the problem becomes if you keep them all close together, you're just running into, because you take Whirlwind. You take Whirlwind, you take 709, and you take Nightfall, and then you have 4 points left, and you could take anything you want. So
yeah,
you could take,
like fun.
Yeah, so like you take another 709. So if you lower Wrath down to 4, I now could take Wrath, 2 709s, Whirlwind, Nightfall, and Gideon, or 1 709. That's not good. Like I'll tell you right now, that's not good. You know.
Yeah, but I do think that there's something to be said about the community kind of not like rallying around things that are just so feels bad and such dick moves. I that's partially a reason why I think a lot less people. I'm not calling anybody, especially not Knuckles, a dick. By the way, I love that guy, but a lot of people aren't playing Vader Defender in like droves. You know, like I think a lot of people just don't really believe in Vader Defender for a multitude of reasons. One is just in terms of the comp between him and X1 Vader, and the other, is just the experience, the feeling of playing something like that. It's like, that's kind of a cheat code. So people are like, So, maybe that's why I'm not doing all the jamming shenanigans, because it's just going to piss people off.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. With that being said, thank you all for joining us. We will be back next week, Sunday night, 9 p.m. We're going to be covering all the different tournaments that are happening next weekend.